In the heart of rural Quebec, behind the locked doors of a nondescript warehouse, something was missing. Not cash, not gold, but nearly 3,000 tons of pure liquid gold maple syrup, valued at over $18 million. It vanished without a trace.
Dun, dun, dun.
The world laughed. Headlines called it the sweetest heist in history, but behind the syrupy punchlines, a darker story was bubbling up. Whispers of rebellion, a black market, and a powerful cartel that controls the lifeblood of Canada's proudest export. So, Meg, was this an inside job, an act of economic warfare, or a sticky conspiracy that goes deeper than any pancake stack could ever dream? Because today, Meg, on the Your Town podcast, we're going to crack open the barrels of truth behind the great Canadian maple syrup heist and uncover the conspiracy that still leaves a bad taste in the mouths of those who dared to fight the Federation. Wowza, huh? This one's intriguing. I figured, hey, it's maple season. Maple City might be buying my truck. There's just too much maple in the air that why not do something? Why not go international and do an episode of Your Town podcast about a maple heist?
That makes me sad.
Why so sad? Because the fam's in the maple biz?
Yeah, and I know how much work goes into it and how unpredictable the seasons are.
Yeah.
You never know how much you're going to get.
It is true. Have you ever heard of this story?
No.
Me neither. And it happened not too long ago. Well, I say not too long ago, but it's been almost 15 years, so we're getting old. But it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Do you want to get right into this one? And hopefully you're not too sad? Or should we do the intro?
Let's just get right into it.
Let's get into it.
Change it up.
Let's change it up. All right. And at the time of the recording, I feel like we had some of the family syrup on our breakfast this morning, didn't we?
We sure did.
Yeah, we did.
The most delicious thing on the planet.
Where could they find this deliciousness? It's not even for sale, is it? It's just like they do it for the family, right?
No, they sell it.
Oh, they sell it. Where can they get it?
It's the Wood family.
In Harrisville,
New York.
Look it up. You want some? I'll tell you what. First 5 people that hit me up, I will make sure that we get it for you as long as you pick it up, because I don't really want to ship a gallon of syrup at this rate, but I will reserve 5. I will purchase them, have them.
They don't just do gallons, though. They do smaller sizes.
They do smaller sizes as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There we go. We did a thing. In 2011, in a quiet industrial facility in St. Louis de Blandford. How would you say it?
I don't know if I draw it out quite like that.
Well, I was trying to read Blandford before, and it was St. Louis, and then my brain was like, "It's not St. Louis, it's St. Louis." It tripped me up a little bit. Sorry,
you said it correctly. It's just the
St. Louis. Well, I was trying to think, and then I'm like, how would I say it if I was French? St. Louis de Blanc, Quebec. There was a reserve unlike any other, and it was under watch. The Global Strategic Maple Syrup Reservoir. Have you ever heard of it? It's a big thing.
It's not reservoir, it's reserve.
But that's how the French would say it, I think.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. It's not just reserve in French, right? They'd be like, reservoir. No? Fine. The Global Strategic Maple Syrup Reserve. Yes, Meg. It actually was started in 2000. It holds tens of thousands of barrels of syrup. For anybody that doesn't know, how many gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head.
40, roughly, gallons of sap. So if they're making...
I thought it was more than that.
Everything I've always been told in the maple biz, it was 40 sap to 1 gallon. We're going to go with that. I don't know what it is in metric because we're in America. So I'm sorry to all the Canadian listeners. But yes, thousands of barrels of syrup would be times at least 40. Meg's going to get on the Googles and see if I'm right. And while she does that, I'm going to continue with this story because this reserve or reservoir holds a lot of there. And they hold it to stabilize global prices because Canada, Meg, produces over 70% of the world's maple syrup. And the bulk of it comes from Quebec. Did you know that?
I had a good feeling.
We can think of it as the Outback for breakfast toppings because we love syrup. It also goes good in coffee, goes good with a lot of things. Did you find something to prove me wrong?
No, not yet.
Okay, good. Because I'm right all the time. But either way, this reserve was managed by the FPAQ, FPAQ, the Federation of Quebec Maple Syrup Producers. Put that on a t-shirt or a bumper sticker. We saw a bumper sticker yesterday that made us both giggle, didn't we?
Yes.
It was a vehicle with a lot of rainbows and a lot of other bumper stickers, and this one said, "I'm so gay I can't even drive straight." And that made me giggle. So shout out to whoever was in the lovely town of Gouverneur, New York that had that bumper sticker. You made us giggle.
I liked
it. It was good. It was good. You don't see it's a dying art. Bumper stickers. You know what I'm gonna do? Because my truck died and I'm still a little bitter about it, and I'm gonna bumper sticker the crap out of this new vehicle. I'm gonna find all of the most clever bumper stickers, and they're going on this new ride. I'm gonna sticker it up, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But founded in 1966 was the Federation of Quebec Maple Syrup Producers. It had become a powerful organization that acts as a marketing board. They set the quotas, they control how much syrup gets released into the market, they inspect quality, they even store producer syrup until it's sold. To some, the FPAQ ain't nothing to... no, sorry, that's a different song. It's a stabilizing force that ensures producers get paid fairly and the industry remains sustainable. To others, it's a syrup cartel, choking out independent producers and driving prices through the roof. Enter the thieves, Meg. Over the course of more than a year between 2011 and 2012, barrels were slowly siphoned, their contents replaced with water or left empty. The stolen syrup was sold to distributors across Quebec, Ontario, and even the US of A. It was a meticulous, daring, and smelled faintly of rebellion. So you put your phone away, was that right? 40 to 1?
Mm-hmm. Ooh. I was thinking it was like in the 50s, but...
Well.
But I also learned another little fact.
Ooh, what'd you learn, Meg?
It says that maple is actually more healthy than honey.
Ooh.
Slightly.
But the one benefit of honey is it never expires.
Maple syrup doesn't either.
Oh,
really.
See that?
So its texture might change slightly, and it might not taste as fresh, but it's
still not going to hurt you.
If stored properly.
There we go. Check out Woods.
But it says it has a lower fructose content,
Ooh.
a higher mineral content,
Ooh.
and a lower glycemic index.
Ooh, which means it's gout friendly. Get you some Woods maple syrup
when consumed in
moderation.
Moderation, not consideration.
Consider moderation when consuming maple syrup. So let's try to get inside this sticky operation, Meg. How did they do it? This wasn't a midnight raid or a masked robbery. This was a slow burn scheme. Thieves rented warehouse space in the same facility where the syrup reserves were kept. They had legitimate access using trucks, hoses, and brute strength. They rolled barrels out of stores, siphoned out the syrup, and either refilled the barrels with water or left them completely empty. Then they rolled the doctored barrels right back into storage. The scheme lasted for months. In total, 9,571 barrels ended up being tampered with. The reserve wasn't checked regularly. And a major security flaw was then found. But then comes an inspector, not Inspector Gadget. He visited in 2012 and tapped a barrel. It wobbled strangely. He opened it and realized it was empty. Barrels of syrup weigh over 600 pounds. Empty barrels are, well, suspiciously light. Thus began one of the largest police investigations in Canadian history. The Mounties were busy. Ooh, here's a French word. The Sûreté de Quebec. I think I Spanished it up. How would you say that?
Sûreté.
Sûreté de Quebec. Dubbed it Project Acer. That's way easier to say. It's kind of like the computer. They conducted over 250 interviews, executed 40 search warrants, and seized trucks, syrup, and storage records. The logistics were staggering. Authorities discovered stolen syrup stored. Say that 5 times fast. Stolen syrup stored in New Brunswick, and even found some being sold openly in the US of A. Wow. This is getting pretty interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
See, security flaws. Gotta keep on keeping on.
I'm going inside deal.
Has to be, right, with all the access. Do you
always? If it was over like a span of time, it's not all done in one hoorah.
Hoorah! No, they siphoned, they stored, they were meticulous. But we got a major player, Meg, in the game. Old Dick, old Richard. How would you say that last name? Valeris.
Sure.
That's what we're going with.
Hilarious.
He was a syrup broker with a history of illegal sales. He admitted to selling the stolen syrup, claiming he had no choice. You know why? He was threatened by organized criminals who demanded that he help them move it. He told the court he even tried to make counterfeit syrup from corn syrup to stretch the stolen products. Nobody wants that manufactured corn syrup. He ended up being found guilty and sentenced to 8 years in prison, along with a little bit of a fine. $9 million, equal to the profit he made from the heist.
Pocket change.
Yeah, I wonder how much that is. That had to be, it's a lot of loonies and toonies, you know what I'm saying? But his trial then raised questions. Who are the buyers? How far did the network extend? Was the black market for syrup already thriving before the heist? Many independent producers long resented the FPAQ. They saw the organization as overly restrictive, fining those who tried to sell outside the system. Some producers stored syrup illegally, hoping to sell when the prices rose. The Federation conducted raids to seize that syrup. The tension created a fertile ground for rebellion. While there's no concrete evidence, of course, every true crime story doesn't apparently have this concrete evidence of an orchestrated protest. Some believe the heist had silent supporters. Ooh, those are the worst. Communities that depended on syrup tried, or that, no, they didn't try. They were tired of the bureaucracy that controlled. They may have turned a blind eye. To them, the real crime was an economic oppression. So obviously with a heist like this, there's going to be a fallout and sticky justice, because in total, Meg, over 26 individuals ended up being arrested in connection with the heist. Some were drivers, others were warehouse workers, several were charged with theft, conspiracy, and trafficking. So inside job, oh yeah, 26 people. That's a lot. Old Richard was ordered to repay all of the money or face an additional 6 years in prison. His father, Raymond, was also convicted. Makes for an awkward family holiday. Boxing Day in Canada.
No syrup for you.
A little bit different.
Dry pancakes.
Yep. Sorry, Raymond. Sorry, Richard. You did this to us. The FPAQ increased security dramatically. Now the strategic reserve has surveillance cameras, motion detectors, and better tracking systems. Wow. I mean, got a multi-million-dollar business. Why would you want cameras and motion detectors, huh? But the trial forced a national conversation. Should maple syrup be treated like oil or wheat, a regulated commodity? Or should it be like wine, where small producers can sell freely and quality drives value? Oh, I think it should be like the wine. The maple syrup trail. They got wine trails all over. Can we get a maple syrup trail? It's good for the diabetes.
Flights
of syrup.
They come in different colors.
You can have little dippers, like little French toast sticks or little pancake bites. Ooh, now we're talking.
Wax on snow.
$1 million idea we just came up with.
Have you ever had wax on snow?
No. I know what it is. Don't say that. I didn't grow up in a sugar bush.
We missed our chance.
We did.
The snow is...
Don't say it. Don't say it. Do not say it.
Okay.
We're moving on. Because the minute you say that, we're going to get a blizzard. Don't say it. She almost said it, people. To this day, syrup producers, they're split. The Federation still sets quotas, but some producers continue to push for deregulation, saying the FPAQ stifles innovation and competition. Meanwhile, though, the old black market syrups, of course it still exists. And it turns out, buyers, they can't often tell the difference. I mean, let's be honest. If you were to go into a store and buy a well-known brand of syrup around here, I'm trying to think of one of the biggest ones around here, probably Parker's out of Canton. Or the young entrepreneur, who is not so young anymore, started that. Could you go in and tell the difference between that and the Woods? One's probably more regulated. This is me not knowing. I'm just throwing out local, things. But if there's going to be somebody even bigger. Maybe if
so you're saying they sell these in like the grocery stores around here?
What I'm saying is, it seems like in Canada, they have the whole regulated market. So they have the reserve of all the syrup because they're doing over 70% of the world's syrup in Canada. Most of it is in Quebec.
Mm.
So they have the reserves and everything, which is regulated and everything. What I'm saying is, if you had a black market one, so let's just say hypothetically, we're in Canada and say the Woods family just like, nah, we're not going to be a part of there. We're not going to send our syrup up to there. You know what I mean? We're just going to sell it our own, word of mouth, donations, whatever it is. You're probably not going to tell a big difference in the overly regulated 73% of the world's syrup compared to a smaller selling on the black market. Maybe
Right.
you like the one better. But again, that's kind of what they're saying. The black market is still striving, and most buyers can't tell the difference of the main ones to the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, that's essentially what they're doing. Distributors are buying some of that 73% syrup, repackaging it, relabeling, and marking up the price.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the prices are so there. But they're saying in Canada, they don't really have a choice. All of these other, maple farmers, they don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. When government steps in and says, nope. And who would have thought? This whole controversy over some maple syrup.
Right.
But the great maple syrup heist might sound like the plot of a Wes Anderson film, but its legacy is anything but whimsical. It exposed the shadow economy within a beloved industry and highlighted just how deep of a resentment ran through all this in the Canadian culture. At its peak value, maple syrup was worth more than crude oil per barrel. With that much money on the line, theft, corruption, and a story like this was probably inevitable. This story made international headlines, but again, 73% being made, it's going to make international headlines. Can you imagine these other countries be like, where's my syrup at, you hosers? Oh, we're working on it, eh? The Mounties got involved and somebody's been stealing our syrup. Eh?
Eh.
I feel like I was there. And not only did it make international headlines, but there was even some documentaries on it. You want to go watch one?
Yeah.
Let's go find a documentary on this. And then they obviously dramatized some fictional stories as well. But for many Quebec producers, it wasn't just about headlines. It was about control, survival, and Canadian pride. I mean, they got a maple leaf on their flag.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. Finally, a reason to boo Canada. Not even boo Canada. Boo these people that stole it. God damn Richard and Raymond. But the sticky truth is that the maple syrup is more than just a topping. In Quebec, it's culture, it's identity, and when power and profit get involved, even the sweetest industries can sour.
Ooh.
See what I did there?
I see that.
That's pretty good, right?
That was good.
Man, we're getting good at this. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on a sweet little treat on the Your Town podcast, mixing it up a little bit, having a little fun, still a little bit of some true crime and history. So obviously, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know. Share it to a friend, a grandma, a relative, somebody who isn't a diabetic, because I have to imagine diabetic. Like my old man, he's not going to appreciate this episode. He doesn't get the real syrup. But the world we live in, we got some sugar-free syrup.
Mm-hmm.
Share it around. And hopefully you did enjoy this. Super excited. Shout out to the old Believe Network, Meg. I don't even know if you knew this. I wanted to surprise you. We are now being hosted, and we are on the Believe, BLEAV Network. Your Town Podcast, Stay Out of My Fridge Podcast, and the Triple T Podcast. We're switched up over to there for now, and super excited to be there. A lot of sports stuff. I stumbled upon one. There was one, Cuse Militia, where they talk about all Syracuse sports. Couple not too far from home, so a lot of good shows. Our friend Wicked and Grim, which is a true crime podcast. They're Canadians on the west coast of Canada, eh? Good dudes. He made the connection. We're over there now. I'm super excited to be over there, so make sure you go over there, check out all the other shows, and spread some love, because you know what, that's what it's about. Some syrupy, sticky love. So I don't know, with that being said, check out all the friends of the shows and the links in the descriptions and all the other amazing shows on the Beard Laws Studio. If you want, we got a little something for everybody, don't we, Meg? Spend a lot of time in the studio, we do. We have ourselves a little date day every time. Sometimes we have ourselves an adult beverage, and today we're sipping on some tea and coffee. We're all over the place, but we got a busy day, and I'm sure every single other one of you listening is busy as well. So Until next time, keep your eyes open, your pancakes fluffy, and your history sticky. Does that work?
Yeah.
I feel like it worked. With that being said, we'll be back next week. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate you, Meg. Let's have ourselves a day, huh?
Let's do it.
Today's a good day to have a good day. So have a good day, eh? Go get some syrup and some poutine.
Flip flop some sports around today.
I thought you were going to say flip flops and sports bras. Let's go. I was like, what? That's a weird way to put it, Meg, but. All right.
We're doing like the crossover season right now. So.
Yeah. Basketball one day, softball the next. So.
Sprinkling some dance.
You. All right, everybody. Take care. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.